Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL.
It is the GSL. It is Team League Day, though, Tasteless. GSTL.
And not just any GSTL or GSL Team League. We got FXO against Team fOu.
Pretty sick matchup.
FXO, kind of our debut foreign team out here in the Team League. And here they are now.
Here they come out. QXC in the lead. I got Slog on his right. All sorts of great players there. You know, we got Teenan Gun, we got Moonin, we have Optic Zero.
You cannot forget Wolf Artosis. Do not discount him.
I would never do such Tasteless. An excellent four-gator if I ever met
Let's
one.
do it, guys. Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what they were thinking. Can they get their first win here today?
You know, a lot of these guys, very talented, people we actually got the chance to train with a little bit in StarCraft 1 and 2. And it is actually packed here in the studio. I mean, before the games had even started, we were actually out of chairs.
Yeah, it is actually almost a fire hazard.
I'm gonna have to crowd surf to the bathroom like I always do when it's break time here.
Jesus goes into the mosh pit.
I do, into the nerd mosh pit.
Yeah.
Now, this team here, easily one of the best non-Korean teams.
They've had a hard time in GSTL so far, but
it's okay though, because it's totally understandable. They're new here, and they're going to improve a lot training with these Koreans and participating in fighting against them.
Yeah. Now, you see the coach, of course, John Dentros and Daniel Aldel. I don't know his last name. I know he's a nice guy.
Yes, he is. He's a charming fellow.
Captain, Chef, did go back to USA.
Yep.
Getting ready for MLG and all that jazz. Here's the team right there.
Look at that.
Someone made FXOZ about 4 times his regular size.
Yeah, he's a little big in this one, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just that big a person, Artosis.
No, I've met him. He's
They got a
actually
giant
very small.
9-foot-tall nerd over there. Ready to go. There is Slog over on the far right, a good friend of ours, excellent player, very talented.
Yeah.
And you know, I think this is a really balanced team. They got the right attitude. They're not stressing themselves out too much. They're taking this, of course, very seriously and training really hard. This is all just, it's so exciting.
It is.
To see these guys out here.
I really want them to pick up a win in this league, man.
Yeah, me too. Well, you know, they're a team that last time we casted, things were not going right for them.
Yeah.
It just about everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong, including Slog's army getting nuked. So,
that it did.
Well, you know, they're confident going into this next match, and I think this is going to be a pretty even one. They're against fOu. So I think it's a team that's more manageable for them. It's like they're taking on IM or Slayers or anybody like that.
Quite true, Tasteless. You know, that being said, though, fOu has SC. That's going to be the scariest guy for them to actually try to take out.
Yeah, fOu, easily one of the best players, and here comes the team that he's a member of. fOu, we saw them have a lot of success in the individual leagues of GSL. Season 3, there's the Coach Foya, or excuse me, the Coach Choya.
Nice
the team
spoonerism, Tasteless.
Foya Choyu.
Foya Choyu?
Yeah.
Well, their 2 aces are probably going to end up being, of course, SC and Leenock.
Yeah.
Very difficult to take those 2 out. The other people, a little bit less known, a little bit less accomplished. And we already do, of course, have the first player in from each team. It's going to be Gumi Ho, the Terran player. Used to be a random player for fOu, against Slog, Protoss player who did get nuked, if you guys recall.
And look, I think that was a real fluke. I mean, it's kind of funny. I think it's one of the most memorable moments of all GSLs. And, you know, I do think he still has a very good chance of playing quite well against these players. Now, let's take a look at the team fOu. As you can see, they never got too deep into the GSTL. Round of 8, and then round of 4. So they are improving, and they are very eager to kind of move forward in this tournament. Here, you know, some of these teams that they're good, but they're just not quite good enough to compete with, you know, StarTale as well, for instance. We mentioned IM and Slayers before, and Prime is up there now too. These guys want to get into that Tier 1 for the Korean teams, the GSTL teams.
Of course, man. That's how you go about getting sponsors.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't know. I don't know how they'll do today. They have some players that you know, they're obviously training very hard, but we haven't seen them. So maybe they'll use some of those. I mean,
they're a little bit of a lopsided team. You got SC, who is just a legend, but some of these other guys, excuse me, you just
look at SC.
Look at fOu. This is a great team. It's good to see Crane brought his sunglasses.
Yeah.
And look at SC's picture, actually. Look, these guys are all great players.
The best has his hand in his pocket. What do you think he has in there? Maybe a Banshee?
Maybe a Banshee's ready to whip out.
He's going to just throw it. It'll crash into the wall and explode without any
We haven't made any turrets in the Golem studio, so there's still a chance that he can't run that Banshee into that.
I don't know, man. Tastes would throw his tee up at it and die, probably.
So, these players, a lot of these guys on the team have a lot to prove. We just haven't seen them very much.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? Like,
yeah.
At least on the international games, we've seen, a lot from FXO. So we're a little bit more familiar with their play style, the players' strengths and their weaknesses. And, this is one of the, I would say it's a Tier 2 Korean team.
Yeah, it's fair enough, man. And now we have...
what is John doing over there? Oh, he's the translator.
He's running Team Yu-Gi-Oh!
He's Team Yu-Gi-Oh! Over there.
Yeah, man. He's got
going to activate his trap card, yeah. Now, this is a big moment for these two teams because actually both want to win very badly in this case. fOu knows they're sort of a Tier 2 Korean team. They want to basically show, okay, a Tier 2 Korean team still better than one of the best non-Korean teams. And make no mistake, guys, the Koreans here, they have a lot of pride.
They really
They
do.
know they were the best in StarCraft 1. They want to say, hey, look at StarCraft 2, where it's even more competitive and more globalized. No one can compete with us. And, of course, FXO, they want so badly to take out this legendary Korean team.
Yes, Tasteless. They are itching for their first victory, and I certainly hope that they do get it.
So, again, I am Tasteless. With me is Artosis. You got your Pirate Bird shirt on. The Pirate Bird
joke.
joke.
Cute.
Yes, looks good. And we got, look, I'm really pumped. I love doing the team leagues, especially when we have a non-Korean team. It always makes me think back to the Korea versus the world match we did, which was just so epic.
That was the greatest thing ever, man.
Where you got to go talk to the team, and I had to stand by myself. And
I know you were a lonely guy.
My mouth actually hurt. Like, I have stronger mouth muscles.
Yeah.
My dimples are bigger
it's
after
like you
that.
were chewing something like taffy all day.
Yes. Fighting gobstoppers, everything.
Yeah.
It was a tough day on my mouth. I did so much talking, so many games.
You almost starved to death afterwards.
I did.
Could not.
Dan had to do this thing where he chews the food for me. Like,
I was like a bird. I was like,
and then spits in my mouth, and I'm like,
I regurgitated it for
right?
Tasteless.
Yes.
I digested it partially in my stomach, brought it up, put it down in your mouth. You went like this.
I took it down, put it in my 4 cow stomachs, and yeah.
For some reason, you're a bird with 4 cow stomachs.
Yeah. I don't know where we're taking this, but
I'm not really sure.
We went to the deep end with the randomness here. So we're very close to getting the players out here, and I think the first game, like in any team thing or team league, I just called it a team thing. In any team matchup, the first game really is going to dictate the pace of this, the tempo, because the first player you bring out, generally speaking, is somebody who's going to be well-rounded. You're assuming can usually take out a bunch of different types of players, and there are exceptions to that. And, if you get that guy taken out, you're already in the phase then of sniping.
Yeah.
You're saying, well, we already got one player down. Now we need to get the guy who's good on our team at this matchup to take on, whoever beat our initial player.
Yeah. And, I kind of like that they're using Slog first. It's Tal'Daram Altar, a map that he has practiced. He told me 500 times.
Slog is actually, I think, the most seasoned player on the entire team. There he is.
He definitely is.
It's Andy. Oh, yeah.
There he is.
Slog from New York City.
That is correct.
This guy,
originally from Korea, way, way back as a baby.
Yeah.
He is an American through and through.
Yep.
And he has a very special strategy plan for Gumiho. We'll get into that later, though.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Settle down, guys.
know. Stop begging.
Some nerd was like, "What is it?" And I'm like, "Dude, we can't even hear you through your computer." All right.
Like, yes, you did. I'm like, no,
yes,
we
did.
didn't.
No, man, I just know what you're saying because I have cameras in your house. And no, I don't.
Taste us outside your window.
He's got a little bit of Gatorade in there.
Gatorade's pretty good.
Actually, I got some Gatorade here on my desk.
Gatorade open already. I'm going to go ahead and drink
Does
it into the
Pepsi
mic.
also sponsor the Team League? Do we know? So we got free Gatorade here for some reason, Artosis. This is good. I'm going to get some of this in my mouth, too.
I really like yellow Gatorade. It's really nice. They don't sell other colors in the I don't think.
Well, the yellow one's actually less. No, they do sell like 1 or 2 other colors.
You have to go to like a big store to get it, though.
Yeah.
I want the orange. I miss the orange.
Now here's his opponent, Gumiho.
Aces doesn't care if I miss
I
the
don't.
orange.
I don't.
You're
care
not
about your Gatorade needs.
Well, Gumiho, he was a random player before. In fact, if I recall correctly, he's the only random player that actually made it into the GSL.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That was very long. Well, that was like season 1 or 2, but
it was pretty far back.
Yeah,
but he did not make it far at all.
Back in the Cretaceous period in StarCraft.
Being a random player, you actually can't keep up. People should know that you're most likely to cheese you because it's so hard to know the late.
Back when I was playing StarCraft 1, the only reason why I could even play random was because everybody was so bad back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People just didn't have the mechanics. I mean, now, I started out in StarCraft 2 a little bit playing random. You can't do it. There's just no way you're going to keep up with everything. So, here's a shot of our 2 players. As Artosis said before, the map is Taldirum Altar.
It's a good map, man.
It is a good map.
We will see how it goes, though. The countdown has begun. Slog is getting ready. Gumiho. Clean off his keyboard a little bit once it's clean.
It's going to be a Protoss versus Terran. And this, again, is going to set the pace. And I know most of you guys watching the stream, since this is the English stream, are going to be rooting for FXO, non-Korean team. I mean, they do have like, 1 or 2 Koreans on there. But it's basically international, Australian, American, all over the place. All right, it's time. Can Slog do it? The pressure's on, but he's got a lot of experience. But so does Gumiho, one of the only random players turned Terran here at the GSTL. All right, it's on. Over here in the upper right, StarCraft 1 Protoss. Actually, the cousin of Null Rock.
That's right,
not StarCraft
Null Rock, but Null Rock.
Yeah, not Null Rock.
The cheesy Protoss.
Yes, guy who always went carriers too soon. Down here in the bottom right.
Gumiho, Poyu.
Gumiho. And this is, again, a big moment here.
Yeah, if Slog can win this match, Tasteless, they will get it started out right. And here's the thing. During his match where he got nuked, there were like 3 mistakes. And if he didn't make any of those mistakes, I feel like he could have won that game. He actually played really well overall. Now, can he do that here? I think so, man. I have faith. I put him as a more talented gamer than Gumiho.
Yeah, in this case, I would say so. He's the nuking on the Army thing, that's... Wow. Sheth.
That is
there
so
in his
cute.
bear costume.
Got his keyboard
He's
on
a
his
furry.
lap.
All right.
He's a furry.
He's a furry.
You know, one fangirl there just went, woo!
He is a furry? No, he's not. That's Artosis. I've seen you, Artosis.
No,
and your
Tasis.
giant ferret outfit.
That's you. I've seen you with your shirt off.
I am a hairy male.
Hairy male.
I'm a hairy male. That's the only
way to put it.
That's the only way to describe it.
All right. Well,
I'm an Animorph.
It was after my time.
Terrible book. If I was an Animorph, what animal would I morph into?
Oh, tasteless. Let me think about that. The first thing that comes to my mind, for some reason, I don't know. This is like when you see the ink blots and you're just like, what comes to your mind? A sloth came to my mind. A sloth.
You're supposed to say wolf, Artosis.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. It was sloth.
Sloth?
I think it's something about your nerd back while you're passing these games. I just looked over at you and you were all hunched over. Your 3 toes were hanging onto a tree branch.
I use those 3
mold on
toes
your
to control
fur.
my mouse, Sartosis. You would be a guinea pig or a ferret.
Thank you.
You could be your Helen Keller ferret.
I'd like to be my ferret, man. My ferrets are so cute.
All right, so Terran's going for a quick expand. Slog going for 1 base and teching.
Actually.
Oh, nice. Slog already. Oh, what? What is the Stalker not put his contacts in? All right.
Slog hiding a Nexus, Tasteless. Hiding a Nexus.
Oh.
In fact, his plan for this game, now that he's killed that SCV, I was talking to him a little bit earlier, is to actually go for a double Nexus off of 1 gate. So he's going to take some highly calculated risks. He's practiced this quite a bit and do the best he can. But, ooh, something has made him decide to change it.
Well, he might just make these gateways and then make the Nexus.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's going to be a lot safer. You know, if he were to be attacked right now, he would simply die. So, it's smart to get those extra ones out. I feel lied to, though. I feel betrayed.
Yeah, he did have that strategy, though. But, you know, all you have to do with a strat like this is make sure they don't get scouting SCVs in there.
Yeah.
And if you do get that next up, there's no way for Terran to really know unless they are scouting around the map. And frankly, right now in the GSL, we don't see a lot of players checking on this map specifically for hidden bases.
The only player I've really seen just scout all game long all the bases was Sage. And he was, you know...
All right, here we go. He is doing it.
Yeah, there it is.
Just getting the gateways up early, just in case.
Yeah, I really like that. I guess he didn't tell me every little bit of his build, but
died.
This is going to be a somewhat risky build. If he stops probe production here at all, then it's not going to work out well. He's really got to get his probes up. He can't transfer. It's too risky.
And guys, make no mistake, he cannot transfer probes during this build to that expansion. The whole point of that expansion is that Terran never really, realizes until it's far too late that the Terran was actually behind on 1 base. And Terran tend to be the one to expand first in this matchup. So that's sort of the theme of this strategy.
Well, Gumiho right now just making a lot of Marines. He's going 3 barracks and teching up, so it's a very mid-ranged build, which is very good. That's exactly what Slog is going to be hoping for with something a little bit risky like this. If he had gone 4 barracks, that might be very hard to hold. If he had gone 2 barracks tech, that might have been very hard to hold. But this very mid-range safe build, it feels like he's just underestimating Slog. He's looking at Slog and saying, you know what, you got nukes, man, whatever. I'm just going to do something very safe and beat you.
Well, you know what? I saw in the booth, Slog was actually training in an online game against Clyde.
It's pretty sick, man.
So, I mean, if you're basically training against the best human being of all time.
Yeah, the most powerful and greatest of all Super Saiyans, Clyde.
Yes.
Then you're probably going to win, man. Slog's going to all kill the team. There you go.
Clyde, the ID I most associate with a cartoon cat that talks.
Well, that's actually Heathcliff does that for me.
No, I mean, that's the mischievous talking cat cartoon name. Oh, nice. Now look at this. Double gas at that expansion. So, essentially, he's going to have more gas than any Protoss should ever have at this point in time in the game. Well, and he's going to Dark Shrine.
Man.
I see the strategy.
Like
I love it.
Ooh,
I love it.
I like that so much.
He's going to have so much gas, along with his minerals, he can just keep making DTs. This might be so difficult for Terran to get a 3rd base if he doesn't catch on to the fact that there's an abnormal amount of DTs coming in here.
With all that gas, Tasteless, with the fact that his bases are spread out, it is the perfect tech. I am completely loving it.
That will be the first time we see a sentry kill anything.
And that Marine Cup is full of bunker right there.
What?
The Marine Cup was full of bunker, Tasteless.
Oh, I get it. That's cute.
Yeah.
I see it now. Well, they moved the army, but he did have a Marine Cup. Like it was holding, like it was a glass holding 2 bunkers. The way it was
1 bunker, so many Marines.
Most of our viewers probably didn't get the joke, Artosis.
That's
all right. What?
What's he saying?
Kids on the farm's like, I don't understand. All right, so here comes the Marine Army moving out. Now, this is a variation of fast expand because he just went Marines. There are no Marauders in here.
And this is a very specific timing. Combat shields and +1 just finished at the second he moved out. So very, very specific timing. We'll see. Can Slog hold this with DTs? I'm thinking that probably he can. And in fact, we have 2 scans saved up. So we're going to have, does have charge already, as you see.
And, yeah, this attack looks like it will not work. There are DTs coming in here, though. One down, and no.
Pretty greedy there by Slog, trying to get by. One scan being used right there. Can warp in some more DTs, though. He's going to be pretty much out of scans. Just one scan should be left at the moment. And that's going to allow him to really clean this up. I mean, do you even use a scan there? Really? Maybe, but after that...
In this case, he does. But yeah, he's running out of scans. He's on 2 bases.
Yeah.
There's no Ravens out.
And suddenly, Slog is looking in such a good position. I mean, the supply is in Gumiho's favor, 108 to 92, but it's going to be hard against just a constant stream of DTs. Slog has to just be sending out defensive DTs nonstop, making him spread out scans. Unfortunately for him, Gumiho is already back up here with more Marines. Slog needed some DTs in the path to burn up scans and make the attack stop.
Well, you know, I think the big moment was when he lost those 3 Dark Templars trying to run into the main. The angling was going to drop now here in the main.
Scans that
Zealot had a lad. You got to see really what that Zealot looked like. Now, where's the scan? We have one more scan. This guy is actually barely getting by with scans.
Yeah, it's very, very close. You know, again, if Slog had sent out just 1 to 2 DTs into the middle of the map, the scans would have been gone a long time ago, and all this would be over already. Slog continues to warp in. A lot of Zealots as opposed to Dark Templars. They're finally a Dark Templar in the main to pull it off. But in the natural, you should be warping them in as well.
So right now, I mean, he's having a hard time mining from this main. Don't forget, though, that his expansion is at the far left side of the map, you know, fully up and running, and Terran is unaware of that. So Terran right now probably thinking he's on the verge of really taking Slog out. Gotta be careful with those probes.
Marines just have too much damage for a second Tasis. You should not be really chasing them with probes. Probes much better against a Marauder composition, but it is allowing the Stalker to perhaps take out some medevacs, and not even quite. Slog losing a lot of units at this point. Gumiho has added a 3rd command center, a 3rd orbital for more scans. So right now, things are starting to look pretty good for Gumiho. A few little mistakes here from Slog.
He's got to be careful with that Templar.
Oh no, and even a drop over at Slog's hidden base. Gumiho,
oh my god,
peeling him apart like a banana, Tasteless.
Like I don't know which kind of bananas peel the easiest. Actually, with that 3rd base being dropped, the hidden one.
Overripe bananas.
Yes, overripe bananas.
GG.
GG, outclassed and outplayed.
Slog missed the slimmest of timings. If, as soon as he gets the DT Shrine, his Dark Templars spread out, he got so greedy. See, he hides a base, then he makes 2 DTs and tries to run them past 2 bunkers and a turret. He was trying to not only get way ahead economically, but also get a free win via running DTs in. That's not needed. And all you need is the little.
You are so smart, Artosis.
If he had those 2 spread out, the game is completely different. The attacks never do anything. He gets a much bigger army. Gumiho kept on wearing down his army, wearing down his army, wearing down his army, and then eventually broke through. Slog just has to be careful about things like that. That is too greedy. Spread the DTs out, get ahead in one area, not all.
The way you're going to win with a strategy like that is to just keep the Terran scanning, not get those DTs in the main. The 3 there could have been 3 scans that were not in the Protoss' main, and that we would have exhausted him.
Oh, no, everything would have been different. It would have been a completely different game. But, you know, that's a mistake sometimes people make. They say, you know what, DTs are awesome when they sneak by turrets. But guess what, the DTs were a little bit slower because he expanded twice. It just... mistakes. People make them.
It sucks.
Not everyone's perfect like you and I.
No. What are you going to do?
I don't know, man. Well, strive to be like us.
I think his strategy's good, but when it came to actually utilizing the DTs, he was not.
No, it was a great idea overall. It was a great idea. In fact, I really feel like it would have been hard for him to mess up if he had just spread DTs out instead of just trying to send them in.
I understand trying to send maybe 1 in.
Sure.
Because sometimes
even
there's
one
just
less
nothing
scan,
in the bunkers.
and he doesn't lose half as many units during the attack. The guy only had 2 scans when he first got there. He only had 2. Slug had plenty of gas. He was warping in Zealots. It cost 25 minerals less. It's just kind of a bunch of nonsensical stuff all at once.
And you know, it also was very smart for Gumiho to get that additional orbital, even though he wasn't expanding with it. All right, who are they going to pick? Who are they going to pick?
It's hard to say. T-Gun, maybe?
T-Gun? QXC, perhaps? No, I think they probably saved QXC.
Oh, it's Oz. All right.
Oz. All right. Oz was the player who was actually...
Oh, wait, no, it was Moonin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
Moonin, another player we've also trained with.
Yep. Very good player. StarCraft 2 especially. His StarCraft 1 skill is pretty high as well.
Yeah.
And he's a good Terran, man. He knows how to TVT. Can he take out Gumiho? Gumiho played that actually quite well. You have to hand it to him. He really got a lot of aggression going and kept Slug on his back foot.
Yeah, you know, it's it'll be interesting in a TVT. Gumiho is good at TVT. He has practiced that a lot.
Yeah,
so we'll see. Moonin is also very good at TVT. Moonin, if I remember right, was the player who was picked first in... Is that right? In the last FXO match?
It may have been, yeah.
And that game was a disaster, but I think he was also a little bit nervous, a little bit overwhelmed.
He got completely outplayed.
Look, I've been there. I've done that stuff too, you know.
That's all right, Tasteless. These guys have been in Korea, and each week they're getting better and better. Sometimes things go wrong, as we said before, but... Anyways, this map is going to be Xel'Naga Caverns. In fact, I had seen Moonin TVT here before. He's quite good at it.
Moonin knows now that, you know, being pulled out here, he is one of the better players on the team. He really needs to win this. I think what FXO is doing right now is doing everything in their power to just get back into being ahead. I don't think they're going to have, you know, this is not a moment where they're going to say, we got the guy that has this little experience. Let's send him out. No, Artosis. Why would you think that?
I don't know.
Why would you say that on live television?
That was silly of me.
That was really
unprofessional.
dumb.
I apologize to you, and I apologize to you.
I want to apologize to GOM TV. I want to apologize to my mother.
My family. I've disgraced them.
We could do one of those big presidential, you know, campaign apologies where he's like, I'm so sorry. I've disgraced everybody, and the wife and the kids are in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
It's taking all the pictures.
I'm giving up my career that I've worked on forever because I did one stupid thing.
I did a stupid thing that had nothing to do with my political moves, but I've embarrassed my party because it's the Values Party.
I know, isn't it silly?
Yeah.
But yeah. Xel'Naga Caverns. TVT. Will we see any mech? What do you think?
We're going to find out, but we'll find out after this interview, Artosis, so just keep your shirt on.
The team moves better than expected. We are down 0-3, but we always knew it was going to take a very long time for us to catch up in the training regiment, the way we practice, all those kinds of things. So our original goal was always to just improve. It wasn't anything other than that, so we're just looking to go in and just improve again. Well, our team's actually pretty close with fOu. We practice together a lot. A lot of the players are friends, so we do have a little bit of extra insight. That being said, it's the same for them for us. We have done what we can to see how we'll go, but it'll just turn out to how the games go. First of all, we'd like to thank our partners to help us get over here to Korea. I'd like to thank the players themselves because they are showing extreme dedication by being here, and I look forward to some great games with fOu.
So you heard it there, guys.
저 안 될 순 없을 것 같아요 지금. 근데 더 좋은 게 지금 저희 개인 리그 백수예요. 저는 다 탈락해가지고 GSTA밖에 남지 않아가지고 애들이 GSTA만 바라보고 연습하고 있기 때문에 오늘은 충분히 자신 있어요. 학수가 저희 팀에 있었을 때 팬 여러분들은 잘 모르겠지만 이번 시즌에 데뷔한 프로토스 최고의 카드였어요. 그래가지고 학수가 이제 주전으로 활약을 하게 됐었는데 이제 이적하게 됐는데 학수가 팀 내에 있었을 때도 정말 잘했어요 저희 팀에서. 그래서 좀 힘들긴 하겠지만 어쨌든 학수가 의사소통이 잘 안되잖아요. 그래 해주는 사람이 있다고 하더라도 그래서 확실하게 의견 전달 안 했을 것 같고 그냥 이게 카드는 많으니까 상관없는 것 같아요. 재밌게 했으면 좋겠어요 학수랑. 제가 언행 블리츠 많이 했어요. 솔직히 IM전도 그렇고 NS 호서전도 그렇고 이렇게 말해놓은 거에 비해서는 정말 실망스러운 경기력과 실망스러운 성적으로 여러분들에게 대했지만 앞으로 저를 비롯한 우리 포유 팀원들 전부 다 언행 일치시킬 수 있게 연습 열심히 해서 대회 때마다 좋은 성적 거둘 거고요. 저희가 이제 1패를 더 하면은 플레이오프 진출이 좌절이 돼요. 그래서 다 합심해서 열심히 연습했으니까 나머지 3개 팀 반드시 이겨서 1승뿐만이 아니라 3승을 하도록 노력을 해서 꼭 플레이오프에 진출할 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
Whether you heard it, the FXO team and the fOu team are friends. They've been playing together. I know that the drama nerds on the forums who like to pretend that this is just human beings pitted against each other with a battle of everything down to the bone. No, man. These guys are actually, I didn't even know I was on camera. I was actually one of the.
That's why I was going like this. I was like moving my eyes.
You should like taste you're on camera. No, they're
I was trying to signal you secretly.
We need like little hand things we do back here.
I go like this.
They do play together, so these guys are somewhat familiar with each other's play styles. How long was I on camera doing that?
Oh, it was a good
3 minutes.
Seconds, man.
It was like even when the interviews were going on, I was down there going like this.
What is that? Why are you eating stuff? What does that have to do with eating?
I don't know, man. It's like the position little.
Like a squirrel or something? You're like with your acorn, like.
Yeah. So, we do know they're good friends, and look, I think fOu. I actually really like what Choya said in that, where he's like, look, we've said we're going to do really well in the past, and we haven't. So we really are just hoping to win this.
Yeah,
I respect that.
That's fine, man. Yeah, I like Choya. I tell you, as a coach, more than I like him as a player.
Yeah, he's a good coach. Much better than he's playing in the GeoCell, that's for sure. So, yeah, we got a TBT here of the map Zelnaga Caverns, and it should be pretty interesting to see, if FXO, every time we cast them, it's like they're barely hanging on.
Yeah.
It's like they might have their best player. You never see Cliffhanger, where like Steven Seagal's like holding the rope, and
don't let go.
She's like, don't let go. And then her teddy bear falls out. She's like, no. Then eventually he drops her, right?
Oh, that part.
Yeah, that's part.
That's
I saw that when I was
where the guy.
I saw that when I was a little kid.
Go, and the guy is like, I'm sorry. And he knows that the rope is fraying, so he has to cut himself off.
Yeah, I would have dropped her fast, man. She'd have been screaming at me, kicking her like.
If I'm that person, I'm holding your hand and say, Tasis, you don't let go. And I crawl up your body and get away.
Ooh, you're sneaky.
Yeah.
I saw that scene back when I was like in first grade or something.
Yeah.
And my mom had to turn the movie off after that. It was just too scary. Like, yeah. That's not true. My mom was scared. I turned it off. I was like, Mom, I'm going to protect you.
You are nothing but man.
Yep. I'm made of balls. Now here, as I said before, it is going to be on Zelnaga Caverns. And actually, excuse me, the Artosis is now pointing out the countdown is starting. So we're going to get this going, Terran versus Terran. FXO needs to win this. We know what happens in team leagues when you start to lose the first few games at the start. It's almost impossible to come back.
Avalanches, Tasis.
Yeah.
They're deadly.
That was in Cliffhanger as well.
No St. Bernards in the GSL.
Do you remember the part, I think it's a Cliffhanger where he shoots the guy with the gun under frozen water? And I'm like, I don't think guns can do that. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone's going to tell me on Twitter.
Waterproof ice guns can do this.
Some guy who like lives in a militia right now who like has every gun and stuff. Like, he's going to write me on Twitter. All right.